So we'll get to the prenatal chat in just a bit, but something I think every single person watching right now all over the world can relate to is stress eating in isolation, boredom eating in isolation, anxiety eating in isolation, or you're just reaching for things. This is my biggest thing, is I'm reaching for things while I'm waiting on a grocery delivery to get there. You know, my fresh fruit and veg isn't always in the refrigerator, and so I end up eating crap sometimes. So let's talk a little bit about that. What are your clients telling you?
Basically, my clients are telling me that they're binging a lot. So what they're doing is there's just endless snacks, and they are emotional and they are stress. And the problem is it is driven. The binge eating is driven by stress, and it's driven by boredom. And unfortunately, what happens is we are at home and the fridge is very accessible. Whereas when you're at work or you've got your routine going day to day, like especially us mums, we get up, we feed the babies, then we go out for, you know, we do an activity, and then it can be quite routine, which is lovely. And I absolutely love a bit of a routine. Like when I don't have routine, I feel a little bit messed up too. So this time I think for everyone is probably doing that. It's making them feel a little bit out of sorts. So basically, with the time of stress and anxiety and the unknown, we tend to go in for sugar. We tend to want to eat lots of snacks that are high in sugar and high in fat. So like your biscuits, your ice cream, all of the things that we actually shouldn't eat. Yeah. Oh yeah, you love those. Okay, yeah, but they're a one-off because it's Easter time. Okay, so that brings us back to the balance. So
good point.
What the tip that I give a lot of my my clients is you have to make sure that you are keeping some sort of a routine. So you would know that you wake up in the morning and then, you know, Brooks eats his breakfast, you eat your breakfast with him, you do your workout, and then you like head out for a little bit or try to get some air and then come back. So you can set up a routine by doing that and saying, okay, I'm going to snack at 10 a.m., get my coffee at 10 a.m., then have my lunch at a particular time, like you would at work. So what that'll do is it'll prevent you from binge eating.
What we would be doing anyway, I guess.
Absolutely. And we should try our best to do that, because what routine also does is it allows us to have a bit of structure, and it reduces that sense of anxiety of the unknown. And when we fuel our body with the right foods, not the high fat and not the high sugar foods, we're actually fueling our brain, and it's releasing the right neurotransmitters and producing the right neurotransmitters to keep us happy and safe and during this time, and you know, keep our immune system supported.
Yeah. Are there are there any foods in particular we ought to think about that would help us have a restful night of sleep? I know a lot of people have been saying they're having weird dreams. I am for sure, as we're just sort of trying to process everything that is going on in the world right now. So are there, you know, chamomile tea, or is there something a little takeaway you can give us to have a restful night of sleep that might bring us some peace throughout the day even as well?
Definitely. I recommend at night, when it comes to food, you know, bananas are really good, and turkey and chicken as well. I know, you know, vegetarians won't eat those, but bananas, they release, they help with the production of the good neurotransmitters, and also help the production of melatonin, which is the hormone that helps you sleep. And I think a lot of the issues, and people tend to be waking, well, what I'm hearing is they're waking at around 3 in the morning and not being able to get back to sleep. Another thing that assists is magnesium. So magnesium rich foods, which are dark leafy greens, almonds, and also if you can get your hands on a magnesium supplement, I think it helps, because during times of stress, your body tends to be depleted quite a lot of magnesium. And unfortunately, it's not that I'm, you know, a pro for supplements, but I do think they have a purpose, especially during these times, and they do help us relax and calm down. There's also a couple of other nutrients like a B6 and B5, and those are essential to supporting our adrenals, as well as vitamin C, which is an antioxidant. So it's not only there for your immune system, it's also there to support you and your adrenals during this time. Because the thing is, people are waking because they are quite anxious. So by supporting that anxiety through food, like eating your eggs, you can have meat, you can have tofu, lots of pepita seeds, almonds, those types of fats are very good. Bananas, they'll support you during this time.
Okay. And getting good. Well, thank you so much. I think everybody can relate to this. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, or pregnant, or postpartum, or you know, you're 16 years old or you're 66 years old. It's just a crazy, bizarre time that we're living in, where literally the whole world is in this together, trying to sort through things. But let's talk about prenatal nutrition, because this is something near and dear to both of our hearts. And I definitely want to do this before baby girl comes out.
Oh, I love it. It's so beautiful. And that dress.
And you've been, you know, we see each other quite regularly around Bondi, and you're always giving me little tips here and there. And I follow you on Instagram. You have great recipes that everybody should be checking out. Seed of Life Nutrition. So let's talk about a few things. Can we talk? Let me go back to the first trimester, when the only thing I wanted to eat was bagels and crackers and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That was kind of a strange one for me, living in Australia, since everybody does eat peanut butter and jelly here. Maybe Vegemite toast would be more common here. But anything beige I wanted to eat. I was feeling nauseous, and lots of women are. So what do we do about nausea?
Oh, that nauseous feeling. I remember it like it was yesterday. And for anyone that doesn't know, I only had a baby 3 months ago. So excuse the bags under the eyes. But I
you just put it down, didn't you?
Pardon?
Great. I said you just put it down, didn't you?
Just put him down. Just put him down. Just put him down. Yeah. But I will say nausea is really, really tough, because all you want to do is eat cheese on toast. That was mine. It was just cheese on toast. That was it, toasties. And what I will say to the mamas to be out there is honor that, because your body is like, there's not many times in your life where you're just going to go, okay, I'm just going to eat cheese on toast every day because that's what I want. So this is a time where I think we tend to get scared as mums. Oh my God, am I nourishing my baby? I should be, it's the first trimester. I should be eating lots of greens. I should be eating avocado, lots of this and that. But the problem is, if your body doesn't feel like it, if you're going to force it down, you're only going to make it worse. It's only going to make your anxiety worse, which is worse for the babies. The way I tackled nausea was to eat quite frequent meals and smaller meals, because that also, one, allowed me to not have that nauseous feeling constantly, because once we get hungry, that nausea hits even harder, and all we want to do is lie down. My second tip was sip on water constantly as well, because when you're dehydrated, and during the first trimester of pregnancy, you do tend to feel really thirsty, and you do need to stay hydrated, because you're producing 50% extra blood in your body. So you need to, you know, hydrate that.
Nourish the baby. What about ginger? Yeah. That's one thing my doctor recommended for me. And so I went out and bought ginger, like in a jar, you know, that you would have with your sushi. And that was fabulous to me. But ginger tea, it was a lemon ginger tea, helped me a little bit. A little bit.
Did it?
But I still ate every single piece of bread I could find.
Yeah. I think ginger tea has its purpose. Scientifically, it has its purpose, and it's really, it is quite calming, and it is a really warming spice. But personally, I would make a ginger tea and smell it and walk the other way. So I think what you need to do is figure out what works for you. And the things that we say that are the best are ginger and lemon tea, like you had. Fresh lemon itself, citrus, is also really, really helpful. So anything citrusy at the moment, there's lots of mandarins, oranges, lemons out. And as bizarre as this sounds, scratching the skin of a lemon and smelling it can actually reduce your nausea.
Good. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for one of my friends. Actually, I have a couple of girlfriends who had gestational diabetes, but I remember the first friend telling me, this was a couple of years ago, but she wasn't able to eat any fruit even. That's what her doctor had asked her to do, to really try to get things under control and get things managed. She was having to do high knees and marches and things after she ate all the time. And she was not a big person at all anyway, but I felt so bad for her, because what pregnant woman doesn't want to eat a whole entire fruit cup every single day, really?
Yeah. So did she have gestational diabetes?
She did have gestational diabetes, and it's something that she's going to have to watch for her whole life. She's had a second baby and had it during that as well, and had to really monitor things. So yeah, anytime I guess your hormones change, you can have an influx of it. But actually, so why don't we talk about that, because there is a way that we can try to keep our risks down. Sometimes we'll end up getting it anyway. She's a pretty healthy eater herself, and was quite fit too. But if we keep our weight under control and we don't give in to every single chocolate cake craving that we have, can that help us?
Of course. And you know that exercise is one of the best things for helping us as well, because it use up our blood, our sugar in our blood. And I think when it comes to eating, gestational diabetes, unfortunately, is something that's caused by the hormones that are released from the placenta. So you might not be prone to it at all. You might be skinny like your friend, normal weight, really healthy, really fit, and then get it. And the problem is you wonder why, and you say, oh, why me? It's not why you, it's just the way your body responds and the way the placenta produces certain hormones. So just to balance this out, and I tell women from the start, is try keep a really balanced diet where you're eating quite frequently, because when you skip meals and you tend to crave something a bit more sugary after 6 hours of not eating while you're pregnant, all you're doing is putting yourself at higher risk. It's similar to any diabetes if you're prone to it. All of these contain your B's as well as your vitamin C and iron, which is very essential for energy. And some other foods are your meats, of course, like red meat contains a great deal of iron, as well as B12 and B9, which are essential just for your energy, as well as Baba, and making sure that
a lot of us do become iron deficient as well. In fact, along with the prenatal multivitamin, a lot of times doctors will say, and you should also take an iron supplement at some point. If we want to make sure that our body absorbs the iron, is there something we need to be eating along with the iron?
Yeah. So firstly, when it comes to absorption, you've got to look at your gut. So we have to look at and making sure that our gut is nourished properly. So we've got a balance of microbiome. So when you do eat a certain food, it is passed through the gut barrier and goes into your blood flow, and then you're able to, making sure that that food is used up for what it is in your cells. Secondly, when it comes to eating it, really, really simple. You team up vitamin C and iron to increase iron absorption.
Yes. I remember my doctor telling me to have a glass of orange juice with my...
Not a glass of orange juice.
There's
other ways of vitamin C.
You know what? I ended up actually having to have an iron infusion with Brooke. My levels dropped really low, and I was, it was tough. It was really tough. I mean, look, people deal with a lot of things worse than that, but it was something that I've been very cognizant of this time around. I'm not a vegetarian at all, but I don't eat red meat, which is the biggest source that you get naturally for iron, isn't it? I do eat a lot of spinach, and I thought that would be enough, and a lot of beans and things.
But you eat turkey as well, and you have chicken.
Yes. Yeah, and that helps too, doesn't it? Let me try
Yeah.
to think about, so folic acid, we always hear about that. Even before we get pregnant, we should be having folic acid. Why is that? And is it folic acid or folate? And what's the difference?
So folic acid is the synthesized form, so it's synthetic, and if you look at different prenatals, there's different types of, it's methylfolate is the one that you get from food. So there's no difference. The only difference is, and this is quite complex, is if you've got an issue with your methylation process, which is in your liver. So what I'd recommend is, I don't want to confuse people with that, because that's a whole other can of worms that I'm opening. So what I would say is just ask your doctor and speak to a professional nutritionist, dietitian about what type of folate you should be taking.
Feeling good, feeling strong, I'm feeling fit, I'm feeling energized, and yeah, classes with Anna have been awesome, keeping me on track through my pregnancy, and I feel as good as I've ever felt. Keeps me limber, it keeps everything moving. If things don't feel good, then Anna's always got a modification for me, which is great. But I just like to feel like myself and like to feel as fit as I can, so this is the best thing for it.
It's an amazing class. I love Anna's class. There's so much energy, and it's in such a beautiful setting at Bondi Beach. You can't get better than this. You will feel sexy and strong after the class. It's great, brilliant.
It's about confidence. Having a baby really takes its toll on, you mentally, socially, physically, and I think having a group of like-minded mums working out with you is really good at helping rebuild all of that.
I love that Strong Sexy Mamas comes online, and it's those short 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And I have two toddlers, a 1 and 2 year old, and there is no way I can get to any of those mums and bubs classes anymore. 15 minutes, I can totally squeeze into my day. I can let them run amok, let chaos happen, and they even get involved, get in the way, and then, 15 minutes I'm done, and I'm back cleaning up after them.